Now, a few years ago, I first learned of what is probably RuneScape's rarest tradable item, and that is the burnt oomlie. A totally unassuming, arguably useless item is one of RuneScape's rarest. How is that possible? Well, it comes down to a bit of an oversight in how it was put into the game. The burnt oomlie can only be burnt up until level 44 cooking, but you're not actually able to cook it until level 50, making it impossible to burn, thus making the burnt oomlie unobtainable. Or so I thought until someone literally traded me and showed me that they had one. Now this was over a year ago, and at the time I thought about it a little bit and tried to theory craft some ideas, but I never really figured out how. But that has all changed in July. Thanks to an anonymous tip and some extreme prodding by Hannanie, the answer has finally been leaked. So I've wanted a burnt oomlie wrap for years now, and we're finally going to go try and see if we can get one. Now the first thing we have to do here is of course obtain the wrapped oomlie. For this method to work, we're going to need quite a few of them because even though the method is leaked, it's still pretty hard to perform and it's still pretty time consuming. So I've been slowly buying wrapped oomlies now for about a week. One big bottleneck right off the bat is the buying limit on the wrapped oomlie is only 15, which means these 300 took quite a while to buy. We also bought some raw oomlies if it comes to that. God, I hope it doesn't come to that, because another annoying thing about the wrapped oomlie, the secondary ingredient, not tradable, we have to go make it ourselves. So we have 300 wrapped oomlies. Is that going to be enough? I'm not sure, but let's give it a shot. Now, how exactly does this method work? There was a lot of theory crafting going on over the last couple of months and the last couple of years, but it turns out the only known possible way to do this currently is by taking advantage of the chilling effect in the God Wars dungeon area in the ice path. The chilling effect drains all of your stats, including cooking. The idea here is that the chilling effect will slowly drain your cooking to 50. Once you get to that point, you will start cooking the oomlie wrap. So although to start with, you'll have a 0% chance of burning this wrap, as you continue on with your inventory, your cooking level will continue to drop, and eventually it'll actually drop below 44. At that point, you do actually have a small chance of burning the wrap, although pretty minute. For example, once your cooking drops to 43, you will only have a 1.2% chance of burning it. At 42, you have a 2.5% chance, and at 41, you have around a 4% chance. So still extremely rare. Now, another really important part of this entire method is you have to actually have your hit points at 1. If your hit points are above 1, you will take a point of damage every single time the chilling effect activates, which will interrupt any action that you're doing, which means unfortunately at the longest you have until your hit point regens by a single point, at which point you'll take a forced 1 point of damage and your cooking animation will be interrupted. So unfortunately the timing on this is very tight, so it looks like at best you'll only have a chance of burning a handful of them. So the first thing I'm going to do here is actually turn some regular logs into purple logs, and there's actually a reason for this beyond style points. When you use these gnomish firelighters on logs, it actually gives you a 100% chance of lighting the log in the first try, which although we have a pretty high fire making level, it would be a real big bummer if for some reason I'm just stuck there like an idiot trying to light the fire. So I think this is a really good idea. So we have our full inventory of oomlies, a couple logs, and a locator orb to bring down our hit points. And the first thing we need to figure out is what location are we going to do this in? So I went up here to the God Wars dungeon and I kind of forgot we lit the fire of eternal warmth or whatever the hell it's called. The chilling effect unfortunately is gone here. Okay, so instead we're going to go up the ice path and well, there's a lot of things here, so hopefully we can find somewhere a little chill where we can do our experiment in. Alright, I think this is going to be our spot. So on the other side of this tunnel, no monsters, we should be left alone. So what I'm going to do here is actually leave a wrapped oomlie and a purple log on the ground. We're going to go rebank and run right back. Okay, so the reason I did that is actually so we can have a full inventory of oomlie wraps. This is kind of important because we only have a chance of burning the last few in our inventory, which means the more full our inventory is, the less wraps we actually have a chance at burning. So we're 99 cooking, so we're gonna have to wait here a little while for our cooking stat to get drained, but it shouldn't take more than a few minutes. Alright, so we're down to 55 cooking. Now this shouldn't be too hard to do, but the timing is really important. So what we're going to do is at around 51 cooking, we're going to light the log. And right before we start cooking our wraps, we need to quickly flick Rapid Heal to reset our health regen, and then we start the cooking process at 50. Okay, so actually for our first try, I think that was pretty on point. The rapid heal reset is very important. If you don't do that, most of the time your health will regenerate halfway through. You'll take a point of damage, which will interrupt your cooking. So we're like over halfway through our inventory, and now we finally dropped below 44, which means we actually right now should have a chance of burning it. I've guesstimated that we probably have about a 10 to 15% chance per run. And unfortunately, the first try, nothing. So if we slow this down a little bit, it looks like we had 3 burn attempts at a 1.2% chance, 2 burn attempts at a 2.5% chance, and 3 burn attempts at a 4% chance. So on 8 of the wraps, we had a chance of burning, and all combined, I think overall around a 20% chance of getting a burnt wrap, which is actually not too bad. We just have to repeat this on average about 5 times. Okay, so here we are on attempt number 2. All right, we can start burning them now, and it's attempt number 3. Oh my god, my fire just went out halfway. What the hell is that? They last between 60 seconds and 119 seconds randomly? Well, that's dumb. Oh my god, we finally got one. There is a burnt oomlie wrap on our 6th attempt, so I guess not, we weren't that dry on it. But with a weird method like this, in the back of my mind, I'm like, is this even work at all? But after over 100 oomlie wraps, we finally got one. Finally something that I've been extremely curious about for years, we can go ahead and chuck in the bank. I don't know why, but this thing looks amazing. I'm actually kind of surprised that worked. I wouldn't have been shocked if that was just an elaborate troll someone posted on the wiki, but hey, it works. So I have 1 burnt oomlie wrap, sure, but what's better than having 1? I mean, hundreds or thousands. I don't know, I still have like potentially 400 or 500 more attempts, and I'm kind of curious to see how many more we can get. So we somehow managed to get 2 in a single inventory, and then pretty much nothing for a long while after that. Now, unfortunately, I have run out of my wrapped oomlies, and although I still have a bunch of raw oomlies in the bank, we still have to actually collect manually a secondary ingredient, unfortunately in the Kazari jungle. Oh my god, where is this stupid tree? There it is. Okay, so we actually have to shake a leafy palm, and it will drop a single palm leaf, and that's it. There's only 1 per world. Hop to the next one, and that's it. So yeah, we just have to go do this like 400 times, and then we can continue on. Okay, from there, we simply have to use the leaf on the raw oomlie. No auto creation, by the way, so we have to spam click these together. So we did around 200 for now, and we'll see if we can get lucky in another one. Oh, finally another one. That took a long time. It's been quite a few inventories. I think we actually literally have to get more wraps now. Alright, this is the final attempt here. I think this is going to be attempt number 27. We've been doing this for the better part of 7 or 8 hours, and our final inventory, nothing. So in total, I cooked around 725 oomlie wraps, and from all of that, I managed to burn only 6 of them, which means on average I burnt one every 4 or 5 inventories, so it's quite a process. So these took me hours to get. I spent about 5 mil just on oomlie wraps. I spent quite a few hours gathering the leaves, and it was quite the adventure getting here. So why on earth would anybody want one of these? Well, I don't know, maybe no one does. Well, I think it's a cool item to have, and even though the method is known, it's still very difficult to get. So even now, I still think it's one of RuneScape's rarest and hardest to obtain items. Now, before I go here, I want to give a giant thank you to all of my members over on YouTube. Thank you so much to March3258, who just joined the Dragon tier, joining the Hybrid, Alejandra, and Kush Patel. Thank you guys so much, really appreciate it. Also, thank you to YoYoSub89, Carter, Mexos, and NDM001 for subscribing at the Runite tier. Again, thank you so much. As always, if you're looking for a way to support the channel directly, YouTube membership is a great way to do so. Get immortalized in all of my future videos, and get a custom role in my Discord server. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.